न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां नतोऽहं सदा सर्वदा शम्भुतुभ्यं जराजन्म दुःखागतातप्यमानं प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो।
A warm welcome to all the devotees on Raksha Sutra English. We are going to narrate wonderful holy stories to all the devotees from the book Miracles of Love by Ramdas Ji, an exclusive devotee of Maharaj Ji. Please listen carefully, all the devotees. In the words of Dada, we all think we are chasing the Guru, but really you see he is chasing us. All I know about the hardships of India made me sure I didn't want to go there. Yet in October of 1971, I found myself at JFK Airport with two friends waiting to board a plane for Bombay. A large crowd of our New York spiritual group had come to see us off, or as I suspected, to make sure we actually got on the plane. We were all three in varying states of panic, wondering what we were doing. Both the panic and the confusion were to intensify 100-fold when we actually arrived in India. We three, like nearly all the group of Westerners, we eventually joined around Maharaj Ji. First heard of him through Ramdas. Yet, though my life totally changed after the night I first heard Ramdas lecture, I did not feel drawn to go to India. Partially, the mystic of what going to India represented in those days made it seem presumptuous for me to even consider the trip. Nor was it clear to me that the power of the awakening I had experienced was, in fact, a connection with Maharaj Ji, that he could possibly be my Guru. We had all heard how difficult it was to find him, and what if he sent me away as he had others. Now 3 years later, I was going to India, but I still hadn't the temerity to chance rejection. I was going to see some South Indian saints and perhaps later visit up north, if there seemed any hope of being received. Coming off the plane in Bombay, we were met by an airline representative in India, a feat in itself, who advised us that we had reservations on an afternoon flight to New Delhi and that tickets were waiting for us at the counter. This was a stunner, but after a 26 or 28-hour flight, we were too dazed to feel more than mild wonder. After all, we were in India. Anything could happen here. This mystery of tickets and reservations to Delhi was never solved in any reasonable way. In Delhi, we thought of going to the American Express office to ask for messages, as we had planned to do in Bombay. After all, since we were here, there must be a message. There was, go to Jaipuriya Bhavan in Vrindavan. Maharaj Ji expected soon. It was signed Balram Das. We didn't know who that was. We learnt that Vrindavan was not far from Delhi and that we could get there by an afternoon train. Somehow we never thought of pausing in the relative westernness of Delhi. The message said, go, and go we did. We thereby learned the first great lesson of India. Never travel by third class unreserved coach. It was the unequivalent of a 3-hour ride on a New York City subway at rush hour, with the addition of sunshine, dust, and engine smoke pouring in the open windows. Eventually, we battled our way off the train at Mathura, and in the glowing dusk of the Indian plain, whose beauty we could not then appreciate, we found a bus to take us to nearby Brindavan. There we were put down in the large bazaar of what to all appearances was a 13th century village of winding alleys full of people, rickshaws, dogs, pigs, and cows. By now it was dark and most of the illumination came from lanterns in the shops lining the streets. We asked for directions to Jaipuriya Bhavan in our non-existent Hindi and were directed first up one alley and then down another. It grew later and the shops were beginning to close. Our panic grew with our exhaustion and hunger, for even if we came upon the hostel, we would not recognize it, for every sign was in Hindi. We began to envision ourselves huddling for the night among the cows in some doorway. Then suddenly approaching us appeared a westerner, someone whom I would met the year before in California. In hysterical relief, I threw my arms around him, but he, an old-timer in India, was totally calm in the face of our emotion. Oh yes, Jaipuriya Bhavan was just there around the next bend. During the next few days, the small western satsang. Satsang means community of spiritual seekers, began gathering at Jaipuriya Bhavan, awaiting Maharajji's arrival at his Vrindavan ashram. Ashram means monastery. Many of them we knew from America, including the mysterious Balram Das, whom we would known as Peter. We heard their stories of Maharajji with relief and anticipation. He didn't sound so fierce and terrifying after all. Then word came that he was here. The next morning we could go to have his darshan. I arrived at the ashram a little late with Radha, nervously clutching my borrowed sari and the offering of flowers and fruit. We circumambulated the temple and pranamed. Pranamed means bowed to Hanumanji, then approached the gate in the wall between the temple garden and the ashram. How well I remember that green wooden door. When we knocked, the old chowkidar means gatekeeper, opened it a crack and peered out at us. Then as each time afterward, for as long as I was in India, I wondered if he would let us in. But he stepped back, pulling the door open for us. I looked through down the vista of the long veranda along the front of the ashram building. At the far end, Maharajji was sitting alone on his wooden bed. When I saw his great form, my heart jumped so that I staggered against the gate. That first sight of him is still piercingly clear in my memory. Radha had already rushed through and I ran after her, losing my sandals along the way. It was all so simple and familiar, bowing at his feet, giving the fruit and flowers, which he immediately threw back in my lap, weeping and laughing. Maharajji was bouncing, smiling and crying in English, Mother from America, During that first darshan, though Maharaj Ji spoke mainly in Hindi, I understood everything without the interpreter who stood nearby, and I recognized the love that had poured through Ramdas, that had irresistibly drawn me to India. Here was the source. Everybody else was all excited, but I was pretty skeptical about the whole thing. Still, I was the first one off the bus and found myself running immediately into the temple. Even though I would never been there, I somehow knew all the turns to make in order to get to where Maharaj Ji was. As I came around the corner, he started bouncing up and down and exclaiming all these things in Hindi that totally confused me. I came to him and bowed down at his feet. He began to hit me really very hard. I had both a sense of great confusion and a feeling of the most incredible at oneness that I have ever felt in my life. He was so totally different from what I had expected, yet so familiar at the same time. At that moment, I felt all the suffering, all the pain from the last several years dissolve completely, and though the pain was to come back again in the future, the love I felt at that moment made it all a lot less painful later. Story is long, so further story will be narrated to all devotees in next episode. To listen the wonderful holy stories of Maharaj Ji, please like, share, subscribe the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon. Write in the comment box Jai Neem Karoli Babaji Maharaj.